Welcome back to She Finds, She Funds. I'm Sheena and this is Christine, a Queensland buyer's agent and mortgage broker.
We believe the more you know, the more you can do. Each week we'll share what we know, what we've learnt, and the conversations we think more people should be having. All right,
Awesome.
here we go, episode 3.
Cool.
So today's topic, we are going to be talking about advice
and myths, I guess, would you say?
advice and myths that maybe our parents have shared with us, or
Grandparents, cousins, your best friend.
all those barbecue conversations that you have. And we're here to bust some myths today in the property and lending space.
Yeah, I love that. It's like when you have a baby, everyone's full of advice. I feel like it's the same around property.
Yeah.
But everyone's situation's so different.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we're going to go through common myths and advice given and how that stacks up in today's market.
Yeah, great. Okay, here we go.
The funny thing is a lot of the advice does come from a good place, but so many things change between the person that's giving that advice, either in time where things have changed or your situation might differ dramatically from theirs. So it's not that they're trying to tell you what to do from a nasty place. They've got the right place, I guess.
Definitely. They're
coming from the right place, but it's just things change and everyone's situation is unique.
Yeah, definitely. I think those people that are giving us advice may have walked those paths at a different time.
Yeah.
It may have been a couple of years ago or 10 years ago, but even just 2 years ago, things are so different in the lending and buying space.
Yeah. Yeah, agree. Before we get into all of that advice and myth busting, what has been your highlight recently?
I haven't thought about this. What has been
Just thought I'd throw it out there to make it a little bit more fun.
Okay.
Mine's getting my hair cut off. You know, they say a good haircut's as good as a holiday.
Oh, yes. Very good. Looks lovely. Everyone that's watching at home, check out the haircut. So much easier. It's like, saves so much time having shorter hair.
Well, no, because I tried to style it the way the hairdresser did and I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
That was not time saving, but yeah, anyway.
Oh, okay. I've got a highlight. It's really lame. And if you follow me on Instagram, my personal page, you may have seen this, but I used to go to the car wash a lot and pay like $20 for a car wash and just the automatic ones, and they don't wash your car properly. So now I've got this brush from Super Cheap Auto, and you plug the hose into it and put soap in it, and it's like one of the proper soapy cleaner brush things. So it's really good to wash my big truck. Yeah, and it's life-changing. It's saving me money and it's actually really fun. So that is my highlight at the moment.
My husband's probably at home cringing. He's right into his car cleaning things and he thinks that they scratch cars.
Yeah, look, it may have slightly scratched it because I didn't press the button to release the water. So, but oh well, that's all right.
That's okay.
You live and learn.
Still good.
Yeah, just don't get too close to my car.
Yeah.
There might be little micro scratches on there, but oh well, just a girl.
I've got another highlight for
Yeah.
both of us. We went to the She Is Gympie
Southeast Marketing
Southeast Queensland Marketing Summit on Friday.
Yes.
And that was so good.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. How could I forget about that? Yeah, that was so fun. It was nice to do a little road trip up to Gympie.
Was it?
Someone may or may not have rolled through a stop sign and got a ticket. But anyway, the memories. Yeah, so we learned lots about mindset in business. We heard from athletes, we heard from entrepreneurs, AI specialists, and meta marketing specialists. It was really fun.
Yeah. So I did a breakout session in like Instagram and content creation, I guess. It was with Beck from Social Marketing. It's called Social Marketing SC on Instagram.
Okay, what's her website?
Website is socialmarketingsc.com. she is a wealth of knowledge.
Mhm.
I left there. I think, Christine, you described it perfectly. You said you left there buzzing.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was. I was like, oh my gosh, just so many little nuggets in there. And it
Mhm.
was so, so good.
Yeah, great.
Everyone should head over, follow her.
Yeah,
If you
I've
need,
started following her now. So
yeah.
yeah.
She does some really cool things. So, like, you can do, like, they'll do a content package for you where they post and everything like that, or they can do it. So that's the do it for you ones, or she can teach you sort of how to do it yourself.
Mhm.
Or they've just introduced a bit of a hybrid model where they will do it for you at the start, but sort of teach you how to do it as well.
Yeah.
And then you can go away.
Gradual release.
Please look on her page for the proper
Yeah,
packages
terminology.
and
Yeah.
terminologies, but really, really cool.
Awesome. So, just a disclaimer, we obviously love our parents and love our grandparents. So,
Yeah.
we know they are only trying to help us, but we are going to be, getting into myths they've been telling us. Let's have a look at number one.
We're looking at, so save, you've probably heard it. No, you've got to save your 20% deposit before you even think about buying.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess why this existed was to help avoid paying your lender's mortgage insurance, which can cost a lot. It was really achievable when, I don't know, this is
20%.
a touchy subject for some, but when the house prices were so much lower, our income hasn't grown the same rate as property prices.
Mm-hmm.
So it was quite achievable for many buyers at the time.
Yeah.
And it was really seen as, I guess, the financially responsible thing to
Mhm.
do.
Yeah, and I think if we look at 20% of a $200,000 property
Yeah.
compared to 20% of a $1 million property,
Yeah.
that's a huge difference.
Yes. And just like I said, the income growth hasn't matched
Mm.
the growth of the property. So it is, some people say it's not, but I feel like it is much harder
Mm.
now.
Definitely.
Um,
And I know that our parents and some grandparents went through a time where they had really high interest rates.
100% they did.
Yeah, and we would like to acknowledge that, and we know that that would have been tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just talking about the first step
Yeah.
of getting that deposit. So I think saving 20 on a buyer's agent's perspective, I think saving a 20% deposit would make it a I think it could be detrimental because I often say it's time in the market.
Yes.
And if you're taking longer to get into the market because you're madly trying to save a
Yeah.
bigger lump sum of cash, I think then the finish, what is it? Like the
Finish line is getting further and further away
yeah,
as we speak.
the goalposts are
Yeah.
moving. So I think, just
It's like running a marathon. It never ends.
yeah. Yeah, I'm more of a sprint type of gal. Not saying I'd win a sprint race, but yeah. I'd rather run 100 meters than
Yeah.
40 kilometers.
And I think where times have changed is there's different schemes and government grants and things available now too.
Mhm.
So when you're looking at it from a lending perspective, to save your full 20% deposit is going to take much longer. And like we said, by the time you get to what, your 20% deposit plus cost would be today, the property market could have moved. It might not, but it can move as well. So then once you get, oh, I've done it, and then property prices increase, I need more. And sometimes it can feel like a bit of a, climbing the ladder situation. Whereas, in today's market and with the schemes that are available, to be able to save as little as, I'm not saying that you should enter with only 5%, but with as little as 5% plus your purchasing costs, can feel a lot more achievable. You're not paying that lender's mortgage insurance if you're eligible for it. And generally speaking, the interest rates are still quite competitive rather than, a while ago where that wasn't available and you would have to pay lender's mortgage insurance, be on those really high interest rates because you're over that 80% loan to the value of the property.
Yeah. Yeah. And if we look at LMI, Lenders Mortgage Insurance, it is just the bank saying that you are slightly riskier, isn't it?
Correct.
And so they put that there, and it is not a lump sum that you pay up front, is it? So that's tacked onto your loan, is that right?
So it can be added onto the loan.
Mm-hmm.
it's not there to protect you either. A lot of people get that a little bit wrong, but it's actually there to protect the
Another
bank.
myth busted.
Yeah. Lender's mortgage insurance is there to protect them, not you. So there is a lot more help, I guess, around buying with less than 20% deposit now, and hence why I guess it's a lot more common. So you've got your first home guarantee scheme. You've got it depending what profession you're in. Sometimes there's lender's mortgage insurance waivers for different professions. But also you've got, like, if your parents own a property, sometimes they might go guarantor. So it is, I guess, something that you need to sit back and weigh up. Is it better, for me to buy now with a lower deposit, or is it better for me to wait and try and save closer to that
Yeah, correct.
20%?
Yeah.
What about, Christine, I guess, from your perspective, buying earlier versus buying later and waiting till you've got that deposit saved up? What can waiting mean versus buying now in the property market?
Yeah, I think waiting, it all obviously it's case by case,
Yeah.
but I've seen people wait to get into the market and then they've been priced out of the property that they had their eye on. So they
Yeah.
may have been looking for a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and then they've waited even 6 months, and that has changed. So they've
Yeah.
had to either change locations or change the makeup of the property. So maybe a 3-bedroom.
Okay.
So it can actually change the type of asset that you're purchasing sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all depends what type of market and what the growth is doing. At the moment on the Sunshine Coast, we're still in a climbing market. Yes, it has softened and slowed, but I think being in Southeast Queensland, we're insulated from a lot of the massive dips and troughs that we're seeing in other states.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of government investment at the moment because of the Olympics.
Yeah.
So I think now, if you're umming and ahhing, it would be ideal to go and speak to a mortgage broker or a bank about what you can get now.
Yeah.
And just ask the questions. You never know.
Yeah.
You might be surprised with what you can borrow at the moment.
100%. It is always, if you don't know, you don't know, right? So getting that appointment early, and then you can go from there. Let's go to advice number 2. Buy the worst house on the best street. This one's probably more for you.
Yes.
I'm definitely not a buyer's agent.
Yes.
But I think this is a good one for you. Like, yeah, do you find people still believe that today? And is it true? How does that stack up in today's market?
Yeah. I've seen this go well.
Yeah.
Even buying at the end of the year last year. So we're in currently 2026 in July. So the end of 2025, I saw someone do this and
Yeah.
it worked well, and they've done a mini house flip and it's worked. They've got a valuation and it's gone up dramatically.
Oh, cool.
However, they did a lot of the renos, I guess, themselves.
Yeah.
The husband is a builder, so
Yeah.
they were able to save costs. So if we were looking at today's building climate, I know that there are house flippers that I follow online, and they've been talking about how their budget has blown out of proportion compared to even 2 years ago of doing a house flip.
Yeah.
And they're really rethinking because it's huge. The amount of costs and the cost of materials at the moment is insane,
Yeah.
and the numbers just aren't checking out for people.
Yeah.
I love when people are looking at location first, though.
Yeah.
I still think that's a fundamental when purchasing or investing, because you can't change the location of a property.
Yeah.
But if you're buying a really rundown home, just hopefully you're a bit skilled or you've got some trusted trades, because at the moment it's a bit risky. And also, if you're doing a long-term hold, then that also is a different story.
Yeah.
Long-term holds mean that you will sort of ride out any sort of trials and
Yeah.
tribulations in the market. If you're doing it for your own benefit and you're living in it, that's great because its primary place of residence means that capital gain is yours.
Yeah.
If it's an investment, then yeah, I think be careful about that and
Yeah.
speak to financial advisor about the tax implications and if the numbers are checking out
Yeah.
after all is said and done.
Yeah.
Mm.
I guess from a lending perspective too, if you're buying the worst house in the best street, you do need to factor in if you don't have the cash available to sit aside
Mhm.
for the renovations that need to happen with that property, then you either need to factor in a construction loan where, if because the property might be a lower value, for example, but you're wanting to spend more. So therefore we'll probably need to look at a construction loan.
Right.
So they will draw it down exactly like a construction loan with an extensive renovation. Or if you do have quite a healthy deposit, and we can, look at putting in less deposit and use those funds
Mm-hmm.
to do the construction
Great.
works for the renovation.
Yeah.
So they're little things to, I guess, look at from lending perspective,
Yeah,
is being
okay.
mindful of what you're going to need for that project as well.
Yeah. Do you have lenders that are better for construction loans?
Yeah,
Mm.
because obviously each lender's a little bit different in how they treat the construction loan fees and things like that are involved. It does come down to your whole scenario. If we must, if we need to go to a lender that has slightly higher fees, but it's working with them, sometimes that's what you've got to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It sometimes with renovations though, it depending on the extent of the work, we can do cash out if there's a healthy amount of deposit there. Not cash out, sorry, because you'll be buying it, not. But you can withhold some of that to do the works. If you're buying with a lower deposit or just right on that 20%, instead of paying lender's mortgage insurance, we can look at getting it valued with the works complete and treat it as a construction loan.
Yeah, right. Okay, very good. Yeah, I think looking at the purpose and the why are you doing that? Is it
Yeah.
because you really want to be in that location because your kids want to be in a certain catchment for school? Is it because of work?
Yeah.
So if those whys, those reasons or the purpose is more important to you because of that location, sure, jump
Yeah.
in because I know lifestyle is really important for a lot of home buyers. And if you're going to be with your family, like if you're going to be home sooner for your family, then that's priceless to some people
Yeah.
rather than commuting further. So, but yeah, I think if you're doing it for investments reasons, then yeah, just checking all your numbers and
Yeah.
yeah.
Making sure that you've got a buffer too.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go in either with your lending, your borrowing capacity. You don't want to go in at using all of your borrowing capacity with no option to future, like down the track, be able to access some of your equity because you've already hit your borrowing capacity.
Yeah, backed yourself into a bit of a corner.
Yeah, some people think because they've got the equity, they should be able to take it out, but it is still based on you servicing the loan too.
Yeah.
So if you've taken, your maximum borrowing capacity and not left any buffer there, then you'll probably have to come up with those funds yourself, unless things change, of course.
Yeah. So releasing equity doesn't mean free money. You've actually got to pay that money back.
And show how you can service that too.
Yeah.
It's not just about the equity you've got available, it's about how you can repay it too.
Yeah.
So a buffer in there in your borrowing capacity, if that's what you're looking to do, and a bit of a buffer for construction or renovation costs, how much that's going to be, at a large buffer.
Yeah.
Because it always pushes out.
Yeah. Yeah. And meditate a lot just to calm the nerves and check in with the builder. Always get an update.
Check in on yourself and how you're
Yeah.
managing
Yeah.
that.
Check your emotions.
Oh, this one's a good one. Stay loyal to your bank.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I feel like for somebody who may have bought a house many years ago, let's say they had a local branch, they had their local branch manager or lending manager that they would go in, say hello to. a lot of people thought they need to stay loyal.
Mhm.
And I get it. Like, it's nice to have that, you know, relationship with
Mm.
your branch manager or your lending manager or whatever it may be, how you've become so loyal to that bank. These days, a lot of banks are closing branches and they're far and few between
Mm.
in many cases. Sometimes there is still, like, you
Mm.
look at Bendigo Bank and they're sort of still plotted around in the community here
Yeah.
and there, which is still nice. But it doesn't mean that you should stay loyal to that lender forever, especially if it's costing you more to do so.
Mm.
You can still have a nice loyal relationship, but it might be with your mortgage broker instead of your lender, like direct to the branch, for example, because then they can review it against so many different
Mhm.
lenders where it's not costing you money to
Yeah.
be loyal to that one branch.
Mm.
I think also staying loyal can, if for future, or even that one property purchase might be first, next, or even future purchases or future plans,
Mm.
staying loyal to fit into their box. Sometimes, their borrowing capacity might not be so good, or you don't fall into it when you go back for some reason, something might have changed and it won't work. So if you stay loyal to them and went, oh, it's not going to work. Whereas when we review it against so many other lenders, it could work, just not with them.
Yeah.
So it might be hindering your future plans as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think some people like to play it safe, I guess. I
Yeah.
think it's a personality thing as well. Comfort. It's nice to stay in your comfort zone and
Yes.
what you know, and walking into those banks, and I think it's a demographic thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just love that. I know, like, if you go down to Caloundra, there's all the banks are in the main street of Bulcock Street there,
Yeah.
all of them, and I'm sure that demographic that lives around there loves that. They can
Yeah.
get straight into there. And growing up, a lot of people probably had that Dolomite account with Combank.
Yes,
Um, that's great, but you might be loyal to them, and you might love that, holding on to that memory. But unfortunately, I don't think the big banks are really caring as much
about you as you
about
are them.
your situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we look at the buyer's agency space, or the home buying space, if you're looking at one option, then that could really decrease the amount of homes that
Yeah.
you're potentially going to be able to purchase.
Yeah.
So if you're content with just taking one option and
Running with it.
running with that, sure. Like,
Yeah.
if that's your personality, fine. But
Yeah.
if you're a bit of a go-getter, or someone who doesn't like hearing no, and wants to sort of kick down more doors to get into your home, then yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, you can still have that loyal relationship if that is that comfort, but you can have it with a broker who can review it against so many different options.
Mhm.
And, if it is achievable with someone else, you'll be able to know that.
Yeah.
And there's still that one point of contact. Yes, you're not walking into a branch, but like, you can come into my office if you like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like,
right.
there's still that opportunity there. It just looks a little different to
Mm.
what it used to look.
Mhm.
And that's okay.
The one thing that I hear a lot is you should wait for the market to come down. Um, I know in 2021, a lot of people were saying, I'm not going to buy a house now. The market's too crazy. I'm going to wait till the markets come down.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the market did not come down, and it just kept going up. So that's 5 years now of consistent growth in
Yeah. I'm going to jump in there too,
yeah.
because so many people across that 2021 period sold their house as well, in thinking the market was going to plummet,
Mm-hmm.
and then they struggled to get back into the market.
Yeah.
So with the people that may have done that and they were waiting in 2021, like you said, and the market has just increased dramatically,
Mm. Yeah.
how's that, looking now, people might be doing the same thing, thinking we've hit the peak, I'm going to wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So people who who are still waiting,
Yeah.
that would mean a whole new suburb change for them.
Yeah.
That would mean a different asset type. So instead of a house, you might be looking at a duplex, or even a unit, depending what your budget is.
Mm,
I just think you should be buying when you are financially ready,
yeah.
and you are, I don't know, set up with your lifestyle. If you
Yeah.
think you're going to be happy in that area, then sure, jump in and
Yeah.
get into the market. But if you're a bit unsure because you don't know where you're going to be living in the next 12 months, maybe hold off. I don't think the market should be a reason to hold off
Yeah.
purchasing.
It's too unpredictable. There's too many, you look back at and there is peaks and troughs. Things like that happen all the time, and it is really hard to time the market.
Hmm.
It's obviously you've probably heard us say it a few times now. It's not about trying to time the market, it's about time in the market.
Hmm.
And it really is so big because how can you time that? 2021 everyone thought it was gonna,
Yeah, yeah.
and we're here.
Exactly. And if you look back at how much the property market has dipped over the years, it has never been so dramatic that that it's something that you should worry about. The only time you should be panicking is if you're selling, I guess, in a boom bust town, I guess,
Yeah.
because where we are in southeast Queensland, the market is never going to go down where you're going to be losing hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
compared to, yeah, those more risky towns.
All right. The next one is you need, I hear this, sorry, I'm just going to cut myself off there, but
Mm.
I feel like you and I both hear this one all the time.
Yeah, yep.
All right. So you need a credit card so the bank knows you can borrow.
Hmm. I hear this a lot, again, from the parents of adults who are trying to buy,
Yes.
or people who have just left high school.
Yeah.
They tell them, right, go and get a credit card, go and get a car loan,
Yeah.
so you've got that history of paying something back.
So it is because I understand what this piece of advice is. So you have a credit history or a credit file for the bank to look at when they're doing their assessment.
Mhm.
Into like today though, when you go to Optus, Telstra, anything like that to open up your phone, they do a credit check. That generally, if you've had no other credit beforehand, would show that file
Mhm.
there. It might not have any history or anything like that, but it would generally then start that credit file there.
Okay.
I have come across some with no credit files.
Mhm.
You open it and there's just nothing. Their credit file hasn't been, started.
Mhm.
And that is okay. There are some lenders that are okay with that too.
Yeah.
But generally, I would say 95% of first home buyers have a credit file created, whether it's from Optus, Telstra, AGL, your power, your phone, internet, or maybe you have applied for Afterpay.
Mhm.
Not saying to do that, but I'm
Mhm.
just saying, generally speaking, most first home buyers these days do have a credit file.
Mhm.
If it's been created like that from a power company or a telco company, they're not reporting like a credit card is month to month.
Mhm.
But if there's no negative history on there,
Mm.
it's not often that I would see them have a bad credit history either.
Mhm.
It goes on other things, your residential status and stability. So if you're constantly moving, that can impact the score a little bit as well.
When you say constantly moving, is that through the rental market? Or
Constantly moving addresses. So it
okay.
doesn't matter if it's,
Mhm.
whatever. If you're constantly in your residential stability isn't there, that might play a
Have an impact.
on your score as well. Other things that can impact it are frequent applications. So let's say you applied for a credit card like you've been told and it got declined. So you went and to another one that got declined, you went to another one, it got approved. That's now 3 applications against your name in a short period of time for a lesser type of credit.
Mhm.
So that can actually impact your credit history worse than if you just left it and you had a credit history with no file, for example, or no history.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, just things to be mindful of.
And I guess speaking to the credit card component there, when you have a credit card, let's say it has a limit of 5,000 or 10,000, I'm pretty sure that even if there is nothing spent on
Mm.
that and it's just sitting there as an emergency,
Yeah.
that's $5,000 or $10,000 reduced from your borrowing capacity.
It's not actually the limit, it's generally 5 times the limit that would impact your borrowing capacity.
Wow.
So if you've got a 10,000 limit on a credit card, for example, it can change, but generally equates to roughly 5 times that, so 50K in reduction of your borrowing capacity. And it does go off the limit, not what you owe.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Each lender's different, but if we're just looking at on average, how that would fall
Yeah.
back into borrowing capacity,
Mm-hmm.
it's roughly that amount.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow.
Then not only just that, but if you miss a month, which is easy to do when you're just learning about credit and things like that, that can then impact your credit history worse than if you never had it.
Yeah.
So I think for that one specifically, I would reach out to your broker, or a broker if you don't have one yet. We can do soft touch credit inquiry to look at your credit file. It doesn't impact your score, but it will tell us if you've got that credit file already opened or if it's not. It might help direct what lender we would go to before you go and take out that credit card. If there's no other reason, sometimes there's no purpose to it and no benefit.
Yeah. Cool. And when you're purchasing a home, there sometimes can be unexpected costs or repairs. I hear people say a lot, when they move into a home, you don't hate anyone else more compared to the person you just bought a home off, because that is when you start finding hidden quirks about the home or things that they've quickly covered, or I don't know, things that have sort of slipped through.
Yeah.
So it's good to actually have more of a cash buffer rather than a credit card sitting as an emergency outlet. Yeah, having more debt when you're buying wouldn't be helpful. I think that would be putting more pressure
Yeah.
on you, and I think it's more important to be enjoying your new home than worrying about cash flow.
Next one, your first home should be your forever home. Do you agree with that?
No. No.
We've touched on this in the last episode, so some of these are a little bit of a repeat.
Yeah.
But it is just so common to hear.
If you're buying your first home, I think that's when you need to be more flexible.
Yes.
You may not have all the bells and whistles, you may not have all the bedrooms, but I think it's more important to get in.
Yeah.
I think it's actually more fun when you look back and you look at the dodgy sort of living environment that you were living in. Like, I always reflect on, the first kitchen I lived in that had no cupboards. I had to go and get like a little cupboard from IKEA because I had no pantry. Um, yeah, you don't have to have it all. And I think when you're moving sometimes from your parents' home, which has maybe everything you ever need, into your first home, then it's hard for that transition.
Yeah.
But I think flipping it and like looking at the fun side of like challenging situations compared to like looking at things half glass full, I think is important.
100%.
Rather than, oh, I don't have a swimming pool. Like, oh,
I don't want to live in that suburb.
yeah.
But sometimes, especially for first home buyers, I think, if that is, like we're saying, not generally going to be your forever home, can't talk, to have a stepping stone in a suburb that you might not want to live in, that's okay, because, you might live in it for 12 months, 24 months, however long, and then you might be turning it into an investment.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with, let's say, the downsizers, so people who are moving from the big family home into their next home, I can see why people would see that as a forever home. That might make sense. That might be the home that they want to end up in for life.
Yeah.
I think that's when you really need to be looking at the accessibility,
Yeah.
looking if there's steps, if there is ability to put in handrails and any type of mobility
Yeah.
assistance is really vital.
Yeah.
And sure, look at that as your forever home. But yeah, when we're looking at first home buyers or family home buyers,
Yeah.
realizing that those phases of your life are very transitional. Whereas if you're looking when you're near retirement, sure, that might be your
Yeah.
forever home. Mm.
And I think it has changed over time. Like this was big years ago, like look back 20, 30 years ago, where it was like really pushed, you buy your home and you stay in that, and the kids grow up there, and that's their family home. And it is amazing to have, I guess, that as a adult child to go back home to and things like that. Um, but I feel like in this day and age, it is very transitional, and we don't have the luxury to buy our forever home
Mhm.
at that age either.
No.
It generally is getting into the market and then going from there.
Well,
Oh, some quick fires. So is it still great advice or time to rethink?
okay.
So we've got,
Oh, I like this one.
okay.
Okay, so never skip a oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Never skip?
Yeah.
Never skip a building and pest inspection.
Still good advice.
Still good advice. I
Yeah.
don't think sending your uncle round to have a look. You know, you need to have someone who is a licensed builder.
Yeah.
He may have been licensed, maybe he's retired, but it doesn't count. That's not going to hold up with a contract of sale. So
Yeah.
so sending a qualified building and pest inspector is still vital and important.
Yeah. Buy the biggest block you can afford.
Oh, I I can
Mm.
understand why people would think this because the land appreciates, the dwelling or the home depreciates because it is, a structural feature that does lose its quality and its strength over time.
Yeah.
So I can understand why people are trying to get the biggest land that
Yeah.
they can afford. However, it might be a whopping big piece of land and a tiny little house that doesn't fit your kids or husband or
Yeah.
wife.
I'm going to say it depends on that one.
Yeah, depends. Cool.
So, yeah. Just feel like there's some apartments along the beachfront. Quite nice.
Lifestyle. Yeah. Always pay extra off your mortgage. Mortgage broker, what do you think?
It depends.
Mhm.
If you can, yes, but I wouldn't be not feeding your family to
Yeah.
try and get that extra
Baked
payment.
beans on toast, kids, again.
So, yeah, if you can, amazing, reduces
Mhm.
the amount of interest you can pay if things like that. But if you can.
If you can. Cool. Don't change jobs while buying a house. Oh,
I had one change whilst from pre-approval to buying.
yes.
We got it. It's okay.
Got it. Okay.
It was lucky it's a lender that was okay with that.
Yeah.
If you can avoid it,
Mhm.
best to do so.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
What about you?
Um,
Do you think it's more stressful for them if they're coming to you and change that job as well? Or
yeah, it depends. If you're going to be getting a bigger income,
yeah,
that might be helpful. But
yeah,
I don't know. I would wait till you've locked in the home
yeah,
first. That's just me.
yeah. And that's what your pre-approval's based on,
Yeah.
as well. So I think
Mm.
always negotiate.
Everything's negotiable.
Still advisable.
Yeah, everything. It's worth a shot. If you don't ask, you don't know.
Yeah,
It just depends how you go about it. Don't be arrogant and rude. If you're trying to negotiate the price of a property, I think coming in with justification and comparable properties as to why you
yeah,
believe that negotiation is valid. Show a superior or an inferior property
yeah.
and tell the sellers or the sales agent why you think that property deserves a bit of the price shaved off. Yeah.
Good advice. I like that one. Not being arrogant or
Mm.
having your reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good one. Never buy the first house you inspect.
No, I think,
I think it depends. If
yeah.
if it suits everything, I
Mm.
feel like sometimes it can work against you if you don't take the jump, and if you loved it and it met everything, and then you can't find another one like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a buyer's agent.
Yeah. No, but you're a human. Like, I just think this is, if it, I'm very logical. Like, when you start looking, I think you should have a nice to have list
Yeah.
and a must have list. If it checks all those must have
Yeah.
lists, then great. If it checks most of the must have lists, also great.
Yeah.
I think it's case by case,
Yeah.
but I don't think you should go, oh no, I want to inspect 5 more. No, because that property, yeah, as you
Might
said,
not last long.
will be gone. So
Yeah.
no, I say go for it.
Yeah.
As long as all the checks have been done and the due diligence has been done.
That's
Cool.
good.
Right.
All right. So what are our biggest takeaways today?
It's okay to listen to advice from other people.
Yeah.
And nod and smile, but you don't necessarily have to take that on.
Good one.
Yeah.
Be polite about it. You don't have to say, oh, your advice is
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
But you also don't have to take it on board and say that must apply to me, because everyone's situation is so different. Yeah. And I think just remembering that, if it is your parents or your grandparents or your cousin or your aunt, they've given us that advice out of, a good place, but it is based on the market that they purchased in and what it'll look like then as well.
Yeah. All right. That is the end of episode 3. Now, I think you are going to enjoy the next episode. We're going to actually have our first guest, Sheena.
So good. We've got Catherine from Joyful Money joining us next week. It is one that you really don't want to miss.
We're going to touch on money habits and behaviours.
Remember, the more you know, the more you can do.
Thanks for joining us on She Finds, She Funds. We'll see you in the next episode.
This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The information shared is general in nature and does not take into account your individual objectives, financial situation, or needs. Before making any property or lending decisions, you should seek professional guidance that's appropriate for your own circumstances. Christine Stoeckert is a licensed buyer's agent, real estate license number 4825177. Sheena Briffa is a credit representative 526921, is authorised under Australian Credit Licence 517192.